Hey, Richest You Money Maniacs, welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about 9 things that schools never seem to teach that will help you find the way to your success and mastering money. Let's get right to it. Hey, Richest You Money Maniacs. Tom coming at you. Thanks so much for tuning in again. I'm really excited to present this video to you simply because if you watch this all the way to the end, I can almost guarantee that it will have an almost immediate impact, positive impact in your life. It's incredible that this is what is not being taught in schools. However, if you actually apply these things and go out and improve yourself with these 9 skills, you will find incredible results in your life almost immediately. Now, let's just list them really quickly so that you can understand what I'm going to be talking about. But basically, these are the 9 things that schools never seem to teach. Number 1, how to sell. Number 2, how to think. Number 3, how to negotiate. Number 4, how to learn from failure. Number 5, how to invest money. Number 6, how to find your passion. Number 7, how to make an impact. Number 8, how to start a business, or even more importantly, how to buy a business. And number 9, probably the most important one, how to communicate. So let's talk about number 1, how to sell. Why would this be important? Because everything you do in your life is a sale. A lot of people are so scared to sell that they work hard on selling you the idea that I'm not good at selling. I'm just not good at it. I don't know how to sell. Please don't ask me to sell. That's a sale. Every conversation you have with anyone is a sale saying, you should listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. Think about that for a second. You have to learn how to sell. And it's not that hard. It really isn't. There's all kinds of videos and instructional videos on how to get better. In fact, the Richest You helps teach some of that. So take the time to practice selling. Start with yourself in the mirror. And what are you doing really when you're selling? You're not selling anybody anything. It's very simple. You are finding out what they need, number 1, by listening, and then you simply give them what they need. Now, there's a whole bunch of other subtleties and there's other ways to supply and demand, that type of thing. But really boiled down to just one concise way, real quick to describe it, you listen and then you give them what they're asking for. People are asking all the time for all kinds of things. It's just most folks are so convinced they don't know how to sell, they don't listen. They're so busy talking about how they don't know how to sell that they just don't listen. So think about that. That's number 1. Number 2, how to think. This is comes perfectly right off of number 1. If you think for a moment and you put yourself in the customer's shoes, or in a business owner's shoes, or in an elected official's shoes, or in your neighbor's shoes, and you think about what they go through, or even better, you think about what the market might be looking for. What are people asking for? What's another opportunity? People don't know how to think and be creative, especially that word, to be creative. So thinking is one thing, but actually even more importantly is taking action on that thought. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that's tied up in that one, but schools definitely don't teach that. They teach how to take a test and memorize and spit that information back out and to stay in line. And of course now to how to be sterile, because they're sterilizing everything with chemicals and vaccines and all kinds of drugs. So that's a whole nother video. So how to think is absolutely vital. It's important for you to exercise your mind on a regular basis for a whole bunch of different reasons, because you need to be creative. You need to have situational awareness. You need to be able to spot opportunities. You need to be adaptable. You need to be able to keep your mind open and calm so that you don't get emotionally drawn in and distracted by the wrong things. So that's why how to think is so important, even beyond just trying to find your financial freedom. Number 3, how to negotiate. I love this one. Negotiating is fun if you actually do it right. Negotiating is a hidden talent, a hidden secret that is absolutely vital. It used to be almost like a sport in some cultures. You had to barter with someone when you were buying something. They want to sell it at 10 and you say, it's not worth 4. I won't give you 4 for that. Come on, it's worth at least 12. You should give me at least 10 as a good price. And they would go back and forth, and people had fun with it. Some cultures still do that. Some marketplaces still do that. There are a lot of countries with more modern approaches where it's just a sticker on a thing and you slide it across the scanner and that's what you pay. But the fact of the matter is, negotiating is always available, whether you think so or not. Try calling your insurance company sometime or your credit card company sometime and telling them, listen, you know what? If you don't lower my interest rate or lower my premium, I'm going to find somebody else. It's as simple as a phone call. Sometimes negotiating can really help you out. So, learning to be a good negotiator, absolutely vital to your success. Number 4 is how to learn from your failures. You don't learn to walk by never falling down. You don't learn to ride a bike by never falling off. You don't learn to be successful in life by not failing.
You having a bad day? Did you die?
When you fail, if you don't die...
But did you die?
Yes, it hurts. And yes, it sucks. And if you don't pay attention, you may do it a lot. Sort of like, Abraham Lincoln? Ever heard of him? Failed. How about the guy who started Kentucky Fried Chicken? I think he was in his 60s before he found any kind of success at all. And that started with him selling door to door. Chicken, door to door. Hey, want to try my chicken? Hey, you want to try my chicken? Guess what? It tasted great. And so yes was the answer. So you have to fail. You have to learn how to learn from failing. Failing is your best friend. And don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. Number 5 is you have to learn how to invest money. Yes, you actually have to learn how to invest money. That's what the Richest You is all about. That's what our course, Mastering Money, is all about. That's why we put these videos out, because money is absolutely essential. It's absolutely vital in this society. And until you learn to master money and master value and master currency and master all the tools and instruments that are at your disposal, these are tools ready to help make your dreams come true. But if you don't know how to use them, it will never happen. You will always be subject to the person who does know how to use them. The Federal Reserve, elected officials, big businesses, people who have more money than you. Remember, the golden rule is he who has the gold makes the rules. So, get your own gold. Number 6, find your passion. This is the same as finding your chief aim, just like Napoleon Hill talks about. This is the same as finding something that makes you want to get up in the morning and feel excited every single day. This is absolutely vital, because without passion in your life, that is not living. That is, you may as well just be a zombie. That's it. Just dig a hole and climb in it. If you don't have passion in your life, especially for your work, then your personal life will suffer, your private life will suffer, your bedroom life will suffer. Everything suffers if you don't find passion. And sometimes your passion leads you into different industries so that you can gather all the different skills you need to be successful at your passion. See, don't lose focus of where you're really going. Just because the universe brought you this, but you want to be over here, they're getting you to that. You need certain skills to be successful at whatever your passion is. And so when you ask for, I want to be successful as a photographer, well, you have to learn about marketing, you have to learn about sales, you have to learn about negotiation, you have to learn about all the things I'm talking about in this video, and you also have to learn all the skills around photography, around videography, around setting scenes up, what's popular, probably better learn about social media marketing too. You better learn about affiliate programs. You better learn about copyrights. You better learn about all those legal terms too. All those different industries all pull together and come together in harmony to make you successful as a photographer. Never thought of it that way, huh? So you better be really passionate about it, or you will not make it through all the different skill sets you have to learn to find success. Number 7, how to make an impact. How to make an impact. What an interesting thing. And it's so important. Why is it important to make an impact in your own life? Because if you don't, guess what? Everybody else will. Because everybody else has their own agenda, and good for them. You should have your own agenda too. Now, if you're really good, you start to have positive impact in your own life, so much so that you become a good model for others, and you start to have a broader sphere of influence. They look to you as inspiration for what they would like to do with their own life. What a wonderful impact that would be. No one teaches how to be impactful. They also don't teach you how to clean your own closet. So, how to have impact. Yes, you need that skill to be successful. Number 8, how to start a business, or even more importantly, how to buy a business. Schools don't teach that. Why? Because most schools are just trying to create employees, because corporations need people to work for them. And so they're trying to supply that need, right? People forget that a school is a business. Universities, colleges, community colleges, high schools, elementary schools, they're all just businesses, and all of those businesses have employees that have their own agenda to make money. They all want to get paid, they all want their vacation times, and they all want their retirement. And yeah, they want to feel good that they helped some kids learn some cool stuff and go on to have successful careers, and maybe think that they had some small part in helping get that person started. That's kind of cool. That's nice. It's noble, right? It's noble. But when it really comes down to the brass tacks, they're in it for the money like everybody else. In fact, since I grew up in an educator's home, I know the bureaucracy and the hierarchy and the political side of the education system like nobody else. And it is just as bad as any other political entity out there. We're talking all kinds of power grabs. We're talking about all kinds of ego-driven decisions that have nothing to do with logical anything. So keep in mind, when you're going through schools, they're teaching you to be an employee because they're trying to supply talent to large corporations that already exist. They're not teaching you to start your own business because the businesses that are already out there are funding the schools. They're giving them donations, and they're giving them stadiums, and they're giving them all kinds of nice amenities to draw more students in, to create more good employees to work for these large corporations. Hey, it's just good business. But now you know. Now you know you need to learn how to start a business, or even better, follow Dan Pena's classes and learn how to buy a company that already exists. How wonderful would that be? You don't have to go through all the pains and headaches of just getting it started. You just come in and take over somebody's business who's just old and wants to retire. They're tired of running this business. I want to go on vacation for the last few years of my life. I worked 20 years to build this business. I'll sell it to you. How about that? Sounds good to me. So there you go. How to start a business, how to buy a business. Schools should be teaching that. And since they're not, it's time for you to learn. Now, the last one, number 9, is how to communicate. You know, this is such a wonderful thing to be talking about. What does this have to do with mastering money? Because if you can't communicate, you will never be able to create the value exchanges that you're hoping to be able to master your money, to be able to build value, to be able to supply something that people need, to be able to draw a team of people to you to help make you successful. You will never be able to do it. Most of the world right now can't even write a letter or finish a sentence. Just try having a conversation with a young person right now. Look at how people write their emails. They look like fragmented thoughts. Imagine what's going on in their head. I mean, you're talking about not being able to focus for more than just a few seconds at a time. And the faster you scroll, the less you focus. So keep that in mind. Communication is absolutely vital. Do yourself a huge favor. Start learning new words. Start learning another language. Start practicing speaking to yourself in the mirror. And listen, even better, record yourself speaking and then listen back. Would you listen to you? Yes, absolutely. It is absolutely vital to learn to communicate. Just for starters, learn how to answer a question. Hey, what color is the sky? Well, I love the sky, especially when there are a few puffy clouds up there and it's really beautiful, and then the sun comes up and it changes colors as the day goes on, and as the sun goes down, it changes colors again. The sky is just wonderful. Yeah, but what color is it? Well, it depends on what time it is, and of course the way the light hits the atmosphere, and so it could be a whole bunch of different colors. It just really depends on what time. So, what color is the sky? It's blue. How about what color is the sky right now? Well, it's late at night, so it's black. Thank you. Thank you for that simple, straightforward answer. So that's a whole nother video, how to answer a question. These are 9 absolutely vital skills that schools do not teach. And now that you've listened and you know them, you understand that you are responsible now for teaching yourself these skills and teaching your children these skills. Because if the schools didn't teach you, you know that they're not teaching your children. You know that they're not teaching your nieces and your nephews. You know that they're not teaching your neighbors. If you have the opportunity to be able to have an impact in someone's life by sharing this list with them, by all means, I would encourage you to do it. Be that good model. Share this information. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you next time.